You ever notice how sometimes the harder you chase after something, the faster it seems to run away? It's one of the most frustrating little quirks of being human. Today, we're going to unpack this incredible paradox, the idea that sometimes trying with everything you've got is the very thing that's holding you back.
I mean, we're taught from day one that effort equals success, right? More effort, better results. But what if, for some of the most important things in life, that's just plain wrong? What if grinding harder is actually sabotaging the very thing you want to achieve? Think about this for a second. You're lying in bed, it's the middle of the night, and you just can't switch off. That little voice in your head starts screaming, you have to fall asleep. You try to force it to just will your brain to shut down. But what happens? You just get more and more awake, more and more stressed. Sleep is all about relaxation, and you can't force yourself to relax. It just doesn't work that way. Or how about this one? Maybe you play a musical instrument. You've practiced a tricky song 1,000 times at home, it's flawless. But then you're on stage, in front of people, and you start thinking about every single note. Don't mess this up, don't mess this up, and suddenly your fingers feel like they don't belong to you. You fumble the exact part you knew by heart.
And oh man, it's the exact same thing with public speaking. You're in the groove, you're connecting with the crowd, and then you make the mistake of noticing everyone staring at you. You become super self-conscious, and boom, your natural flow is gone. It's like your brain just trips over its own feet.
All of these examples point to the same thing, this maddening experience we can call the try-hard trap. It's that feeling where your desperate desire to do well creates so much anxiety that it stops you from doing well at all. And it's not just you. This is a real, well-known psychological phenomenon. And you know who really nailed this idea down ages ago? The brilliant writer Aldous Huxley. He saw this pattern everywhere, that for so many things, from mastering a skill to finding peace of mind, our conscious effort can actually become the biggest roadblock.
He called it the law of reversed effort. You can think of it as the backwards law. It basically says that for certain things, the more you consciously try to make them happen, the worse you'll do, especially when it comes to skills that have become automatic or states of being, like relaxation, that require you to just let go. There's this fantastic old Zen story that just captures this perfectly. A young, eager martial arts student goes to his master and asks, "How long will it take me to master this art?" And the master looks at him and says simply, 10 years. But the student, he's impatient. He says, "But master, I'll work harder than anyone. I'll practice 10 hours every single day. How long will it take then?" And the master's reply is just brilliant. He says, 20 years. By desperately trying to grab the goal, the student pushes it twice as far into the future. He's obsessed with the outcome, not the process. Okay, so this isn't just some ancient wisdom or a philosophical riddle. There's some really cool science happening inside your head that explains why this happens. It really boils down to two different systems in your brain that are constantly at work. I want you to think of it like this. Your conscious mind is the CEO of your brain. It's the part that makes deliberate plans, analyzes things, and gives out orders. But then you have your subconscious mind. That's your team of highly skilled experts who have practiced a task thousands of times. They're your muscle memory. They're fast, they're intuitive, and they really don't need to be told what to do. The law of reversed effort kicks in when the CEO starts micromanaging the expert team. The moment you start consciously thinking about how to do something you already know how to do, like riding a bike or hitting a tennis ball, your prefrontal cortex, the CEO, basically hits a panic button. It acts like a circuit breaker, overriding the parts of your brain that handle muscle memory, and your smooth, automatic skills just fall to pieces. And this makes total sense when you look at how we learn anything. It's a journey, right? First, you have conscious learning. It's clumsy, it's slow, it takes a ton of effort. That's the CEO figuring things out. Then, through practice, you hand that skill over to the subconscious, to the expert team. And finally, you reach mastery, where the best performance happens when the CEO just trusts the team and gets out of the way. So that's the big question, isn't it? If trying harder is the problem, what's the solution? Well, it all comes down to what you could call the art of letting go, of learning how to get out of your own way. Now, practicing not doing isn't about being lazy. It's about being smart. It's about shifting your focus. Instead of obsessing over winning or losing, you learn to love the act of playing. You trust the hours of training you've already put in. You let go of that crushing need for a perfect result. And you find that sweet spot between action and relaxation. And there's this one wild technique to help with that, called paradoxical intention.
Okay, this one sounds a little crazy, but stick with me. It was developed by psychiatrist Viktor Frankl, and it's all about leaning into your fear. So, for the person who can't sleep, you actively try to stay awake. By doing that, you take all the pressure off, you remove the anxiety, and ironically, that's what allows sleep to finally arrive. You try to fail, and in doing so, you free yourself up to succeed.
All right, let's zoom out for a second and bring this all together. Because the law of reversed effort isn't just some clever performance hack. It really points to a much deeper truth, a truth about what mastery really is and how it connects us to that intuitive part of ourselves, our inner voice.
Huxley brings us right back to this profound idea. He says we have to master the art of doing and not doing, of letting go so that this deeper, unknown quantity can come through. He's talking about quieting that loud, anxious, micromanaging CEO in our heads so we can finally hear the quiet wisdom of the expert team. Because at the end of the day, true mastery isn't about tightening your grip and controlling every little detail. It's about having the courage to loosen that grip. It's an act of trust. Trust in your practice, trust in your subconscious, trust in that deeper intuitive part of you. It's about finally letting your inner expert shine without the CEO constantly looking over its shoulder.
And so I'll leave you with this question to think about. Where in your own life are you trying too hard? Where are you micromanaging your own success? And what incredible things might be possible if you just learned the art of letting go and finally got out of your own way?